This meeting of the Eureka Springs City Council now come to order. Ms. Clerk, would you go ahead and establish a quorum, please?
Butch Berry.
Present.
Janet Alexander.
Here.
Ken Pownall.
Here.
Laney Balance.
I'm here.
Dean Kirkpatrick.
Here.
James DeVito.
Here.
Thank you. Next will be our pledge of allegiance. Everybody stand, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Mr. Pownell?
I have two items I'd like to add. One is discussion of FOIA procedures, and two is discussion of CAPC.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, number 3 under new business is discussion of the 2016. Yes, sir.
I would remind council about adding items to the agenda at the last minute. It's been our procedure in the past to give it 2 weeks so that the public can be notified of upcoming items on the agenda so that they might be here to give their input or to contact council persons about items.
Okay.
Second.
Made and seconded. Which one are you seconding, Ms. Mel?
Both of them.
Okay. Both of what Mr. DeVito said?
Mr. Parnell.
All right.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
We already have something about the CAPC on item 3.
That's what I just said, yeah. Is that, it's discussion.
The question is, do we need another item on CAPC for discussion?
Mr. Pownell?
It doesn't have anything to do with ordinance 2060.
Okay. We can add it under agenda setting for next time.
Excuse me?
I said we can add it under agenda setting for next time. What are you pointing at him
I
for?
thought all we needed was a motion and a second to get something on the agenda.
All right, all in favor? On the motion?
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
No.
Excuse me. All we need to get something on the agenda is a motion and a second. We don't need a vote on it.
With all due respect, the procedure has been that it takes the approval of 2 council people to put an item on the agenda,
Yes.
which is published in a timely manner so that the public can be informed as to what this council is going to address. Adding things at the last minute is outside of our traditional procedures. So a vote is appropriate. The vote was 3-3.
He's correct.
Robert's Rules of Order is not traditional procedures. It's Robert's Rules of Order as revised.
Ms. Balance?
2 meetings ago, the mayor himself added an agenda item at the beginning of the meeting, so it would seem to me that it would be appropriate.
The vote was 3-3.
What are we voting on? What are we voting on?
Mr. Powell, is this something that's pertinent that cannot wait till the next meeting? Because we've got a long agenda on here.
I'll go with whatever the vote is.
3-3.
On the vote on what? The
Please.
vote on what is 3-3? Excuse me.
I mean, roll call.
Okay, Mr. Powell made a motion. Mr. DeVito questioned the motion. You seconded the motion. There was a vote. Since the question was, wait, just a minute. The question was, he wanted to add something to CAPC. Mr. DeVito stated that it's been procedure to add it onto the agenda setting. You brought up the fact that I added one last time. What I'm asking is it pertinent this time that it cannot wait? And he said he'd go with the vote. And the vote was 3-3. Mr. DeVito.
With all due respect, the vote was 3-3.
The vote.
Ms. Balance?
The vote on what was 3-3?
The vote on to put it on the agenda.
No, excuse me.
She's got two.
What we have been doing so far has been If something is to be added to the agenda, the procedure is someone moves to add it to the agenda, someone seconds it.
Okay.
Then we vote on whether we want to approve the agenda or not. We don't vote on the motion to add something and the second. That is to put it on the agenda. We then vote on the agenda itself.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. DeVito?
And that is over the course of the 2 weeks until the next meeting is when we do vote on the agenda. We have an agenda setting portion of the meeting, and
Yes.
that's where items should be proffered for the next meeting. So with all due respects to the citizenry, we're bringing up items to the table that they have no knowledge of, and I feel that's just not a good way to conduct government, the people's business.
Mr. Powell?
These are not items for voting on any issue. It's items for discussion, and I take umbrage to Mr. DeVito's objection that we cannot discuss items that pertain to city business,
Okay.
particularly item number 1 on a FOIA request procedures. If it's not allowed to be on this agenda tonight, I will be in violation of FOIA, and so will this city. So I withdraw my 2 motions.
Any other discussion? You have to withdraw your second.
Excuse me?
You'll have to withdraw your second since you withdrew the motion.
I don't believe I have to.
It's a moot point if we withdrew it.
Well, there you have it.
Okay. It's up to you.
Call for the question.
We're still on approval of the agenda. Doc?
We strike under unfinished business 4 and 5.
4 and 5?
I don't.
Strike is in removed from or,
Postpone
okay, postponed till when?
next meeting.
Four and 5?
Yes.
Any others? Okay.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Now,
Checking,
I want
checking.
to ask a question about number 5. We postponed this thing every meeting so far. Is there a reason why it's being continued?
I'm ready to discuss.
Doc?
You can take it off if you want to.
I'd like
Okay.
to leave it on there.
You want it removed?
Yes.
You don't want it postponed?
We can always bring it back on, can't we?
Absolutely.
It'll have to be reintroduced at a different time.
Yes.
Okay, your counterpart's disagreeing with you, Doc. What do you want to do? You still want to remove it?
I'm ready to
Okay.
discuss
Who
this and get it
sponsored
out of the
this?
way.
Who actually put it on here? Mr. DeVito.
Well, if you have 2 sponsors and one sponsor wants it removed, she's going to have to find another sponsor for the next go-around.
Okay. All right, Doc wants it removed. Ms. Balance, you want it left on there? You want to discuss it?
Yes, sir.
So which one takes precedence, the strike or the...
Hi.
You missed out on the fun already.
If you have one removal, you don't have it appropriately on your agenda, so
Okay.
unless you got another one to add it right now, it should come off for the time being.
I'm ready to discuss.
Mr. Pino?
Well, this is going to really sound tacky, but why taking things off the agenda that we've notified the public about is any different than adding items to discuss that the public doesn't know about? We're treating the citizenry unequally both ways in accordance with the way Mr. DeVito explained putting things on the agenda.
Okay. I asked the question a while ago. Why has this thing been postponed and never discussed for every meeting since it was put on here to discuss? It's been continued and continued and postponed and postponed. I just asked a general question.
I was ready to discuss last meeting. I'm ready to discuss again this meeting.
Okay. Well, we don't. It can't be on there. He's voted to remove it. You're the other half. You're going to have to find somebody else to. Otherwise, it's gone. All right.
You want me to ask for the second?
No, ma'am.
Well,
You can't.
I'll second number 4.
Number 4. Okay.
And number 5, please, someone.
You can't ask that, Miss Balance.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. I'm trying to stay in the rules here. All right, 5 is stricken. You said you want it stricken. You want it stricken, Doc, or postponed until the next meeting?
Postpone it, please.
Okay. All right, it's postponed till the next meeting. Number 4 has been seconded. Put back on by. Or is that both of them, or just which one, Doc?
Both of them.
Okay, you're back on the last then. Okay. Postpone to the next meeting.
Yes.
Outstanding. Thank you. Any others? Miss Alexander.
I have a similar situation with number 9. I'd like it stricken, please. I have never asked for condition of Lake Leatherwood Park, but it continues to reappear on unfinished business.
You want it?
I've asked for it to be removed, and it keeps reappearing.
You want it completely removed, not postponed?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. Is that kosher? Okay, let's use the plunger. Anything else? Okay. I want to go back and address this question that we did a while ago. Mr. Pownell wanted to add to the agenda. We had some discussion. Mr. DeVito stated that in the past we had been putting on agenda setting. Ms. Balance seconded his motion after Mr. DeVito made his point. We voted on it as a 3-3 to continue. Ms. Balance brought up the question, what are we voting on? We told her that it was a question of checks and balances, I guess, for a better lack of words. What would be your understanding of the point? Can we add them now, Mr.
If they were,
Pownell's?
if the vote was 3-3, unless you want to add them now, no, they would be.
In the past, when someone wanted to add something to the agenda, it took a motion by one council member and a second by another council member
To add it to the next agenda.
to add
When
it
you're-
to
when
add
you're
it to the
amending-
agenda.
When you're amending your agenda, you're going to have to approve your agenda by a vote of the entire body.
Right.
And you took a vote and it was 3-3, not to
I'm-
amend it to add that.
It wasn't 3-3 because I did not vote, and I'm not clear on what we were voting on.
But I'm not sure what your vote was. I would defer to the clerk of what she has as a vote. But if it was not 4-2, it would not amend the agenda.
I question if the vote was appropriate. I'm saying we vote on the approval of the agenda. To add items to the agenda, it takes a motion and a second
To add them to the next agenda.
to add them to the agenda.
Not
I'd like to have that in writing, signed and added to the minutes.
Okay. To finish my comment, Mr. Pownell then withdrew his motion, his request to add the FOIA and CAPC. Ms. Balance did not remove her second, withdraw her second, which without one, the other one's no good, as I understand it. Okay.
Pardon,
So-
I missed the last part of that conversation.
Since he withdrew his request to put them on there, your second is voided with his withdrawal.
So I don't have to withdraw it because there is no motion to be seconded.
Right. But it's protocol just to ask you if you're going to remove.
Well, I don't remove it.
I'm sorry.
I don't remove it. I still want those things on there.
Number 4 got a second. Number 5 did not.
I think Doc changed his mind. He wanted them both back on there. Is that correct, Doc?
Yes.
Okay. So they're both postponed till the next meeting. Okay. This is kind of wild, guys. Anything else? Do we add his to the next one under agenda setting?
You're talking about the 2 that he was
Mr.
removing?
Pownell's request
Oh, Mr. Pownell's request.
for the FOIA and the CAPC.
Well, he will have that opportunity at agenda setting to ask that those be added, and if he receives a second, then they would be.
Anything else? Approval of the agenda? Mr. Berry?
What about number 2, the ordinance for the backflows? Under unfinished business.
I want to postpone that one till next meeting also. I think it's still in planning. Is that right, Ben? Okay. I didn't think y'all had got anywhere with it yet.
I was going to ask for both number 1 and number 2, but I was going to explain them to the council.
That's fine. You can do that. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we have postponed till next meeting. Everything except number 3, 1, 2, 4, and 5. Is that correct?
1 and 2 have discussion.
2, 4, 5, 9. 9 is removed, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was getting to that one. I was just making sure we get all the top ones here, though. Yes.
Everyone's here to talk about 1 and 2.
Okay, but she said she wanted to postpone them, but we'll let her talk about it.
Take number 1 off, too.
Is that correct, Bev?
Postpone.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that under planning. We have to get a little more control here. And I'm trying, guys. They're really young. Okay. All right.
What about item 12, Mayor?
I want to withdraw that one. I believe that's not going to be an issue until fall. I think we discussed that the last time that had been postponed, so I'll just withdraw it for the time. It can always be added on back later. And number 13, I'll withdraw that one too. That's something we're addressing as an employee issue.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
may I ask that you do update the council on the restroom situation?
I can.
I
when
would
it's time.
appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll put it back on there then.
Thank you.
We'll let y'all in on the big secret. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Number 6, good. Number 7, good. Number 8, good. 10 and 11. 13's withdrawn. 13's back on. 14 is good. Anything under new business that you want to whack up? Apparently not. Okay.
So we're keeping 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 13, and 14. Is that correct?
That's my understanding, yes, ma'am. Okay. Anything else? Motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Motion made,
Second.
seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
5-1. Okay, next is approval of the minutes for April the 21st, 2011. Mr. Pownell.
Move to approve the minutes of the April 21st meeting.
Second
Motion
that.
made, second.
Second that.
Made and seconded. Any discussion? Mr. Pownell?
For clarification on page 3, new business, item 3, I was maybe misunderstood what happened in the follow-on workshop. I had volunteered for that workshop. Apparently, since it's not in the minutes, that it's not passed. Is that true?
On the dog control?
Yes.
It's in the minutes on page 4 at the top. You don't have number 4 or 3? I'm sorry.
Are you talking
It's on page 4, but it's item number 3.
Right on page 3, item 3. You said move to have a workshop for improving the current ordinance, and it was seconded.
Your question, your comment is not in there. You were volunteering to chair it.
Do we not need a chair for a workshop?
No, not really. No, it's kind of a throw it all in.
Well, I'd really like to explain. My understanding after everything was discussed, that I perceived that general understanding to be that the mayor would chair the meeting. And that's the real reason it's not in there. But I'd be happy to add that comment if you'd like it.
That's okay.
Anything else? Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve the agenda.
Approve the minutes.
All in favor?
Minutes.
Oh, minutes, I'm sorry. Minutes. I'm still stuck in the past. To approve the minutes?
Aye.
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 Okay. Motion carried. Minutes are approved. With no amendments. All right. Next item is Commission Committees, Authority Reports, and Vacancies. We'll let Ms. Blankenship go ahead and start, since she's going to address 2 issues.
Hi, I'm Beverly Blankenship. I'm coming for the Planning Commission. I wanted to tell y'all that the Planning Commission has an ordinance ready for council regarding the electronic and digital signs. But as per our code, we do have to have a public hearing on that. We will be having that public hearing on Tuesday, the 10th at 6 p.m. Also, the Planning Commission is working on an ordinance for multifamily dwellings in R1 zone. Currently, our code does not allow for apartment houses in R1. Only with a CUP does it allow for boarding houses. In the past, like with our sign ordinance, when there was a change in the code to the signs, the non-conforming signs at that time were listed and put in there as a list as legally non-conforming. So your Planning Commission is trying to have apartment houses listed as legally non-conforming. That is my goal. But there will be a public hearing at the Planning Commission on Tuesday, May 10th at 6:15. 24. No. Is it? Planning Commission. Okay, well, we are going to have public hearing on these issues so that they will be addressed and before it comes to you. But I just wanted you to know, in case you're getting calls or if somebody's talking to you about it, that's what that's about. We're still looking into the cost associated with updating the zoning map. And also, Mr. Von Tunglen will be coming and leading us in a planning workshop on Thursday, May the 26th at 1 o'clock. Your Planning Commission is going to try to glean from his expertise and years in assisting small municipalities on the things that we should be prioritizing, and he can help us with things that we have not thought about for future projects. On your agenda for number 1, the discussion of the domestic fowl ordinance, I know that y'all did read one at this table, and it was not the one that the Planning Commission had sent over, but I did put the 2 together, and it has red lines under everything that was left out and added, and it has strikes through the things that the Planning Commission did not want on this ordinance. But it is my understanding that the Planning Commission really wanted this to be a standalone ordinance, just like the dog section. It wanted its own section. So I respectfully request that y'all just postpone this until the next meeting. I'll take it back to planning. if it's going to be a standalone, these numbers have to be changed, the section numbers, plus a few other things in the next section. In this section 60801 are going to have to be changed. And I wanted to know from Mr. Weaver, should we do that in a separate ordinance as to not get it all conglomerated? The few changes that are going to have to be 6.0801, because it talks about you can only have 2 ducks, and then it talks about you can't have vicious snakes. We're going to have to take out the duck one but leave the snake one. So should I do that in a separate ordinance and leave this alone, a standalone?
You can do it either way. If you wish to make it perfectly clear, 2 separate ordinances is probably better for clarification, but it could be included in that.
I'm thinking if we leave this one alone with the changes that are in it, you wouldn't have to change the number and you wouldn't have to read the whole thing again. You would just have to make the amendments and the number changes. So I am working on that. Your Planning Commission is working on that. I also asked to respectfully request that you put off the backflow ordinance. We are in discussion, but we just got it a few days before our last Planning Commission, and we don't want to have any knee-jerk reactions to something that's happened. We want it to be well thought out and bring it to you, all our findings. Okay.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
All right, next to be CAPC. Ms. Joanne. That's okay.
Hi, I'm just here to give a quick update with the CAPC. I have very little new to report since your last meeting. We have completed production of the new summer TV commercial. That's been posted up on our Facebook page. If you're not on Facebook page, I believe it's been posted on GeekFest under Come to Your Senses. So if you'd like to see that commercial, it's out there a couple of places for you to look at. Shut up, Ann. And everything else is going along as it should. I'm looking into putting up some outdoor for the peak of the season. We'll probably get a board down on 540 in the corridor, the Fayetteville, Rogers area, and then one on the highway coming down out of Branson. So I'm looking at pricing on that and production, and I should have something new to share with you guys really soon. And that's it. Any questions?
Thank you.
Sorry.
That's my question.
Yes.
City code requires that the CAPC complete an annual budget at the beginning of each fiscal year. When's your fiscal year? Is it the calendar year?
Calendar year.
And present it to the first regularly scheduled meeting of the City Council. Unless I've slept through something, I don't remember seeing any budget presentation from CAPC, and then also in the paragraph right before it requires that they select a certified public accountant and submit an annual audit of the operations of the commission to the mayor and the city council.
The audit's in progress, and I apologize if the budget wasn't presented. I was under the impression that it was, but I was not in this position in January, so I can't speak to that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we don't have anything under parks. Planning's taken care of. Hospital. Don't have anything under under parks. We have a vote on Miss Betsy Rodier's nomination. She was submitted last time for approval. So we'll deal with that one first.
I vote to nominate.
To accept the nomination. Or, well, they were nominated.
Right, so.
To approve.
Oh, okay. I vote to approve Betsy Rodier's nomination.
Second?
Thank you.
Vote on Miss Rodier's made and second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. Miss Rodier is on. Under HDC, Mr. Templeton was nominated last time. Motion to approve Mr. Templeton.
Move to approve the to approve Mr. Templeton for which seat was it?
It was number three, wasn't it?
For
Yes.
position number 3 on the HDC.
Yes.
Second.
Second. Made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carried. All right, I have several. Mr. Pownell.
What are we doing with the application for planning for Mrs. DeVito?
She's withdrawn.
Nominated.
She withdrawn.
Okay.
She withdrew her application. Ms. Balance.
I was contacted by a citizen who said that they had put their application in for a position on parks. And I was reviewing one of the tapes of the mayoral candidacy discussions, and you had stated that you would bring forth all applications.
Okay.
So I was wondering if you were planning on bringing forth that application that citizen had informed me of.
I've got it right here.
You got it right
So
there?
if we can continue, we'll take care of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. For parks position, that'll be
One,
number 1. I'm sorry.
1 or 5, sorry.
It'll be 5. Would be Mr. Mike Riley. You should have copies in your folders.
That's not the one.
Huh?
That's not the one.
Well, I said we'd get to it.
Oh.
Okay? I didn't say we'd do it now. Next is Miss Susan Chamberlain for Planning Commission, number 1 position. Is that correct? Or is- Yes, sir.
Clarification.
Okay, it should be-
The agenda says.
It should be number 6, yeah. Because what transpired last time, everything got hosed up because of move and approvals and then resignation, so it is back to number 6. Okay, for number 6, Ms. Susan Chamberlain. Okay. Now, to address the issue of Ms. Alexander's resignation, she did submit a written resignation for her position on CAPC. And since that time, Ms. Alexander has expressed a desire to be reappointed, so I'll leave that to members of the council.
Move to reappoint Janet Alexander to the CAPC.
Motion made. Seconded. Doc? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Mr.
Aye.
Pownell?
If we haven't accepted her resignation, why do we have to reinstate her?
You don't accept.
I accept the resignation. Yeah. And I accepted it twice, actually. Motion's been made and seconded to reappoint Ms. Alexander back to CAPC. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Welcome back.
Thank you.
All right.
Long time not there.
The application that Ms. Balance has requested be brought to the table is Ms. Karen Lindblad. Now, I have talked to all the parks folks, and they have no interest in Ms. Lindblad's application being submitted. I will submit it to you for your approval or disapproval. So here it is.
I have a question. We already have Mike Riley's application.